So if you have a small miter saw, it probably only tilts in one direction. And even though it swivels both directions, usually to cut crown molding you need a saw that will cut left and right bevels. So I'll show you how to get around that. So set your saw as if you're going to cut to the left of your material, and you can cut all three or all four of these cuts. So what this is this is an outside corner, which you're going to see as you go around your cabinetry. And then there's an inside corner where this side butts up against this side. Okay? So how do you produce all those if your saw is leaning in one direction? So you can see as I slide these samples to one side, if I were to make this cut right here, I'm producing potentially two of the cuts. This would be as if the material is sticking out to the side of the saw, and this right side, right? This is the right side of the cut. That's what I'm gonna get when I cut down like this. So that's the outside, what's called an outside left. The outside right, you're probably wondering, well, how does that work? Imagine this, if you flip your material over without changing any setting, you're able to get this cut. So your material has to be sticking out to the left of the saw, and when you make your cut, you're cutting off this end. And that pair gives you the outside corner. So then how do you produce these guys? These are both inside cuts. If the material was running this direction, and I need to put an inside cut on the left side of the piece to do this, the cove part of this molding is up against my fence. I make my cut. So then how do I make this piece? You've guessed it. The material gets flipped over. Now obviously I've been cutting through this stuff, but let's just imagine it was a solid piece. I would cut it like this, and that would give me this cut once I rotate it back over. Now that you have an example of where those four cuts are coming from with one setup of the saw, it's actually pretty simple. And what I would recommend is get some extra crown molding, experiment with it, and after you've experimented and you have some good parts, put them together into one usable set, just like this, and write down what your miter angle is and what your bevel angle is, and save that and stick that in a baggie. And that way, anytime you work with that crown molding, you'll have your details. Good luck. Watch your fingers.